This is a 3-week-old barn owl that we're currently hand rearing. In order to get a bird of prey really tame, it really should be hand reared, especially when it comes to owls. This particular bird will be trained to fly free with different people all the time, and that's really important that we hand rear it just like we are doing. And it's feeding 3 times a day. That is the pellet that it regurgitated earlier today. It's quite big. And now I'm going to feed it some mouse that I prepared earlier on. And what I'm going to do is whistle while I feed it. I'll do it that way so you can see the bird. And the reason why I'll whistle is that it very quickly will associate that whistling sound with food. So then when we train it to fly and it's up a tree and we whistle, it's a bit like ringing the dinner bell. All the fur, the heart there, all the blood, it's all really important, the whole thing. And when they're this age, we just feed them until they can't really move anymore because they're that full. And of course they grow very, very quickly. In fact, this barn owl could be flying within a month's time, believe it or not. That's how quick it can be. And if you watch till the very end of this video, I'll show you the progress of the actual feathers on the wings starting to grow through. Welcome to Owl Diary number 50. So I'm currently on my way to work. I've got a care home visit today. We've been doing loads of these recently. It's been really nice actually because we've been bringing lots of smiles to the faces of many different elderly people and some with dementia and so on, and it's been really satisfying actually. The birds have all behaved themselves. It's all indoor flying, of course. Henrietta walking around, that's our eagle owl, and we've got different barn owls going and other birds that they get to handle and see close up, so it's really quite nice for them. And if you've been a viewer of Owl Adventures here on YouTube for a while and you've been wondering where the Owl Diaries have gone, then I'm sorry, I've been very busy the last few months. Usually we try and get a vlog out at least once a month, and I've been so busy that I've only really got time to film while I'm driving apparently. I'm actually currently in my new Volvo XC70. I bought this a couple of months ago. It's not brand new, it's a few years old at least, but I do love this vehicle. It's a 4x4, it's got all the tech like the heated seats, heated steering wheel, cruise control, memory seats, it's automatic, and the boot is huge with a liner in it so I can pull that out and power wash it down. Nice size for the bird to fit in. I can take some team members with me as well. This is no good for the really big events where we have to take lots of gazebos and other gubbins, but it's pretty good for the majority of the work we do. So I really like this car, but I'm aware this is not a car channel, and it's actually about birds of prey. And of course, one of the things we do here at Owl Adventures is we do rescue injured birds of prey and release them back into the wild when they're fit and healthy. So this year we had a tawny owl a little earlier this year. Here it is being released and flying back into the trees there. And we've had quite a few birds come in with what we believe to be bird flu. It has been another rife winter for it, many control zones around. And we have a quarantine system for any birds that come in, a 5-day system to avoid their, not so much the birds themselves, because we don't mix those with our captive birds, but anything coming from the wild birds, any of the resources that they come into contact with, we're not going to then pass anything on to our own birds. And it is something that is a concern, but not something we're greatly worried about because we have those control measures in place. This clip is a red kite that came in with suspected bird flu, and I'm having to go crop feeding it here. You can see how weak it is. And that video was actually filmed by my 6-year-old son there on a rainy Tuesday afternoon. I also had a call about a small, I'm not sure if it was a bird of prey centre or a small business that had closed down, and there were lots of birds just being rehomed for free, and someone I know got one of the barn owls, and this is the picture he sent of the barn owl. As you can tell, it's rather scruffy, doesn't look like it's had much attention or even any water to wash in recent weeks. And I got an Asian brown wood owl, here's a picture of it, sat on my glove in the living room trying to kind of calm it down. It unfortunately wasn't very tame, which isn't really surprising with something like an Asian brown wood owl. They are in the Strix genus, and are notorious for being, you know, a little bit harder to train in a way, and a little bit more unpredictable really. And this one had one anklet on, just one, which suggests it hasn't been flown in a while or handled in a while. So I put some new anklets on and had it on there, but we managed to rehome that pretty quickly with someone who wanted an aviary bird, and a bird that they can handle but take their time with, so it's gone to a good home. But this sort of thing happens sometimes. I remember many years ago buying a black vulture that came from some kind of little centre that had shut down, and it was lovely and tame actually, but in the end we decided it would be better if it went into a breeding programme, and we moved that one on. So occasionally you do get this happening where there's suddenly a whole load of birds that need a home. Oh dear, what's that on the road there? That's enormous. That's a deer. That's a shame. Roadkill. That's a young deer there. But the flying show season is now upon us, and we have our first flying show in an arena event coming up next week. So I've been preparing the birds for that, flying the different birds outside, getting them fit and ready for the summer season. Right, stay tuned, an update on our baby barn owl. Well, a lot can change in a week. Like, I had hair last week and now I don't. And this bird has now gotten bigger, fluffier, and has feathers. So, if I show you a bit closer, on the side here, you can see the wings starting to form. And you can also see the face of the barn owl, the shape actually coming through as well. So, it's only going to be really another week or so, not 4 weeks, it'll be another week. And it will actually be flying around a little bit. It's running about, hopping about. As soon as those wings have formed, they can fly. And this is something that if you're hand rearing an owl, you need to be aware of. The wings shoot out fast, and some owls can fly surprisingly high at a very young age. And if they're actually untrained, you're not going to get that owl down very easily. So we're going to start doing some running towards us training with this bird. We think it might be a female because the feathers are quite dark, and female barn owls tend to have darker feathers generally, more speckles sort of thing. So it is quite possibly a female, and we have some name suggestions. So keep an eye on the channel. We'll have clips of us actually flying the bird and training it free. And Owl Diaries coming up very soon, and we'll have decided on a name as well. I'm not going to reveal any of the ideas just yet. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you for watching.